It's wild to think that if they had just played it cool, no one would even be talking about this today. But instead, what started as a kiss on a jumbotron has turned into one of the year's biggest workplace scandals, involving high-ranking executives, job losses, and families facing serious fallout. It all began with a seemingly innocent moment at a Coldplay concert. No one could have predicted that the people caught on the stadium's kiss cam would turn out to be Andy Byron, CEO of the tech company Astronomer, and Kristin Cabot, the company's head of HR. What followed was a media storm that spiraled fast and ended in both of them resigning. On July 24th, Astronomer released a bare-bones statement confirming Cabot's resignation. No comment from her, no explanation, no surprise either. Her exit came just 5 days after CEO Andy Byron had already stepped down, and a little over a week after the concert itself. The internal investigation was swift. By July 18th, both leaders had been placed on leave. Byron quit the next day. Cabot remained silent, but insiders said her departure was inevitable. After all, she was the person responsible for upholding the company's values. Things took a more personal turn when paparazzi photos showed Cabot outside her New Hampshire home without her wedding ring, sparking rumors of trouble in her marriage. The company's statement may have been brief, but the images and silence surrounding her told a much bigger story, and that's just the beginning. While Byron exited quietly, Astronomer quickly filled his role. Co-founder Pete DeJoy stepped in as interim CEO. He admitted that the media frenzy was bizarre and surreal, but also acknowledged one thing. Suddenly, everyone knew the company's name, though not for the reasons they'd hoped. Just 2 months before the scandal, Astronomer had raised nearly $100 million. Now, investors weren't just watching the company's financials. They were watching the headlines. DeJoy made a point to thank employees and push the company forward, emphasizing a need to get back to work without the drama. But while Astronomer tried to shift gears, the internet was still fixated on the scandal. The person behind the viral video wasn't an employee or journalist. Her name is Grace Springer, a regular fan attending the Coldplay concert at Gillette Stadium. When the kiss cam popped up, she started recording, hoping to see herself. Instead, she captured the now infamous moment between Byron and Cabot, and the awkwardness that followed when they realized they were being broadcast on a massive screen. At first, Grace didn't think much of it, but when she reviewed the clip later and posted it to TikTok, it exploded. Over 122 million views in just a few days. Despite the video's massive reach, she didn't make any money from it and said she felt sympathy for the families affected. She also pointed out that with over 50,000 people at the concert, someone else would have likely uploaded it if she hadn't. To her, the moment wasn't private. It was broadcast publicly for the entire stadium to see. Still, most videos don't go viral like this one. So what made this clip different? Experts believe it tapped into something bigger. People are tired of watching corporate leaders behave badly without consequence. This moment was raw, unscripted, and full of awkward panic. No spin, no PR team to clean it up. Just 2 executives caught slipping in the most public way possible. One media strategist called it a viral antidote to corporate cringe. For many, it felt like karma, a rare moment when powerful people appeared vulnerable and very, very human. And while the internet joked and shared memes, the fallout behind the scenes was serious. Andy Byron's wife, Megan, reportedly left their multi-million-dollar home in Massachusetts and moved into a luxury property in Kennebunk, Maine. She also dropped Byron's last name from her public social media accounts. Meanwhile, Kristin Cabot was spotted outside her home, dressed casually, still without her wedding ring. Her husband, Andrew Cabot, who owns Privateer Rum, was reportedly in Japan when the video surfaced. Some say the couple had already been discussing separation before the concert, but that's not confirmed. What is clear is that this viral moment deeply affected both families. So far, no one has filed for divorce or spoken publicly, but the silence has been loud. The distance, the missing rings, the quiet exits. All of it says plenty. This wasn't just another trending topic. It was a personal earthquake, caught in a 15-second clip, and then blasted across the internet. In less than 2 weeks, the video set off a chain reaction. 2 resignations, a fan unintentionally exposing everything, a new CEO stepping in, and two families left reeling. What made this clip different wasn't just the moment itself. It was who it involved and how much they had to lose. No one's issued an apology. No one's launched a comeback. Not yet anyway. It all started with a simple tap on a phone screen and became a reminder of how quickly trust can crumble and how hard it is to rebuild once it's gone. What's striking about this entire situation isn't just the speed at which it escalated. It's how real it all felt. In a world where so many corporate leaders carefully control their image, this wasn't a press release or a LinkedIn update. It was raw, awkward, and completely unfiltered. That's what made people stop and watch. This wasn't just another PR disaster or an employee handbook violation. It was something people could feel. Because we've all seen powerful figures act untouchable. We've all watched executives talk about values while doing something totally different behind the scenes. This time, they got caught in the most human way possible, and the world had a front row seat. The reaction online was swift and merciless. Memes, breakdowns, think pieces, you name it. People weren't just watching the clip, they were analyzing it frame by frame. Did he pull away too late? Did she realize the camera was on them before he did? Was that regret, embarrassment, or both? Comment sections filled up with opinions. Some people called it overblown, saying it was just a kiss. Others pointed out the power dynamics and the implications of workplace relationships, especially when you're the CEO and the head of HR. Suddenly, this wasn't just about gossip. It became a real conversation about ethics, leadership, and accountability. It also raised bigger questions. How much privacy do public figures deserve in public spaces? Was Grace Springer, the fan who filmed their video, wrong to share it? Or was she simply documenting what was already being broadcast on a stadium screen? For her part, Grace said she didn't mean to cause harm. She wasn't out to destroy careers or break up families. She just wanted to capture a fun moment at a concert and ended up holding a lightning bolt in her hands. In interviews, she expressed sympathy for the spouses and children involved, acknowledging the unintended ripple effect her video caused. But she also stood by one point. If she hadn't shared it, someone else would have. This is the new reality of modern life. Every phone is a camera. Every moment can be a headline. For companies, that means leaders are always representing, even outside the boardroom. And for regular people, it means a casual post could go viral and change lives overnight. Internally, Astronomer is trying to get back on track. Interim CEO Pete DeJoy has promised a renewed focus on stability and growth. The company still has ambitious plans, major funding, and a talented workforce. But the shadow of this incident lingers, not just because of the scandal itself, but because of what it revealed. It showed how fragile trust can be, inside a company, inside a marriage, and with the public. One mistake, one impulsive moment can unravel years of reputation. And once that moment is public, there's no taking it back. What's also fascinating is how quiet things have gone now. No one is issuing apologies. No one is doing press tours or explaining their side. It's just silence, the kind that speaks volumes. That's what happens when something goes beyond damage control. At a certain point, the only option is to step away and hope time dulls the spotlight. But for the people at the center of it, the fallout is still very real. Lives have changed. Careers have been interrupted. Families are in turmoil. Even if they move on professionally, there's no undoing the personal consequences. And for everyone watching, the message is clear. In an age where every action can be recorded and replayed, authenticity matters more than ever. So do boundaries. So does trust. And once it's broken, especially on camera, the road back isn't just long, it's public. What makes this moment linger in people's minds isn't just the kiss or the resignations. It's what the story represents. Something much bigger than two executives caught on camera. It's about power, trust, and how quickly the image of professionalism can fall apart in public view. Astronomer had been seen as a rising star in the tech world, growing fast, attracting major investment, and building a modern reputation. But suddenly it was in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. In just a matter of days, people stopped talking about product launches or innovation. The entire conversation shifted to company culture and what it really means behind the scenes. And here's the thing, this wasn't a typical scandal involving financial misconduct or toxic workplace behavior. It was personal, it was human. That's what made it hit harder. This wasn't an email leak or a policy violation. It was a kiss at a concert, something that, on its own, might have seemed harmless.